Howdy guys and gals, and welcome back to Moto Joshin. So let's talk about the changes. Let's get into it. Oh, we had a suicidal pedestrian for a second. So what am I talking about? Well, not only the changes going on around me, but the changes that I'm thinking about. Get over the policeman. So, as we know, we all know by now, YouTube obviously cut me deep. They hurt me so, and took away my, 75 pence a month that I make from my videos. And it hurt. It did, okay? I know it's a small amount of money. I know I make more money off that than people clicking on my links. And, from my reviews and the links in my descriptions and things. And yeah, it's true. I have made more money from that method than advertising. So the advertising doesn't mean a lot. However, it's a symbolic thing, okay? It's a symbolic gesture in which I knew that I was doing some hard work, editing these videos, spending loads of money on equipment to try and make, as best quality as I can muster out of, the stuff that I got and my skill level could handle. And it's just, it was just a little something, and it wasn't a lot. And I've never even been able to take any money actually out because I've never earned enough money to make a deposit, a withdrawal, as it were. So I haven't even ever had any of the money. Now, I have spent quite a lot of money on, my photography equipment and things, and yes, I do get dual purpose out of it, so it's not all been for vlogging or whatever, so it's not quite all doom and gloom, as it were. But at the same time, I have spent a lot of money, and it was nice just being able to look at the analytics and see that little trickle coming on in and saying hello, It felt like me and YouTube were partners, but now we will no longer be thus. And it's not that that's a massive issue. It's not, realistically, in the grander scheme, it's not. However, what it's done is made me think. And the more I think and the more I analyse how things are, how things have developed, where we've got in close to 2 years of vlogging. I think it is actually 2 years now. But over the time period or whatever that I've been vlogging, we're looking at, my 365 or somewhere around there. I think it might even be 69 subs. I've got quite a good chunk of views, and as a creative, and I'll describe myself as a creative, I don't mean to say that in a big-headed manner, but as a creator of content, as a person that tries to think creatively about the best way of doing certain things, or creating videos, or taking photos, or whatever, however you want to term it, as a creative, the stuff you do is hard, and it's not easy, and editing is a ball ache. It takes hours. Don't get me wrong, these kind of vlogs are pretty simple. They're pretty slap and shut and tickle, and that's that. But that's almost part of the problem, is that it's quite easy to edit a normal vlog. If you don't make too many mistakes or cock up what you're saying, then it can literally be cut shut, slap a logo on it, send it to YouTube. And whilst that's great, no one really likes them. Some people will follow you, mainly, if I'm perfectly honest, other MotoVloggers, other people who will watch your stuff. But that isn't really sustainable as a creative, that the only people that watch your content at other content creators. You know, it's just not, that's not sustainable. And yes, unsurprisingly, shows and bike events and when we're out and about, or meetups and those kind of things, always get better views. Reviews as well, because obviously, you know, people are researching things online and things, and you're providing information and content for that. And I think that's a big thing. So, you know, reviews, I think, in any genre will always go down well. And I think adventure, to a certain degree, generally goes down well. However, in the UK, in the motovlogging world, there is a glass ceiling. You know, only few make it through the ceiling. And, you know, we've got guys that have been doing it for years. You know, people like Spicy, and, you know, they've got a decent following for sure. Smo, you know, even 44 Teeth to a point, and the Baron and all the rest of it. They have got a good, decent following, but it's miles behind the Yanks. And, you know, the only person who's breached that gap is RJ. But RJ's in a very unique environment with a very unique set of circumstances. He has a plethora of tools. He has a very unique style. His style is predicated on having cash for the finest tools, toys, and all that were in the land. And he's in an environment that's highly exciting. You know, shit happens in London all the time. That's not the case out here. And I know he's not a motovlogger as such, but he's still in the field, shall we say. And I think that's half the problem, is that in America there are more people watching. And it's, you know, when I look at the majority of bikers, they're older chaps, and older chaps, or at least they are in the UK, older chaps don't watch YouTube. Now, the younger audiences the Americans bring in is because they're popping wheelies and, you know, up to shenanigans. And in the UK, you can't do any of that stuff. You would find yourself in trouble very quickly. So you take that out of the mix, and it's just not interesting enough. And I know, yes, there's loads of things you could do to make it more interesting. You know, backwards cam, B-roll, flick into things, added animations, all that kind of shenanigans. You could do that, and I'm sure. But would it be worth the effort if the overall potential for your video is still so niche? Because there are very few people that have managed to break out that are in the UK and have a good American audience. It just doesn't seem to happen. You will get the one or two, but for the most part, it really doesn't happen. So then, further to that, what is the problem there? And the problem is the motorcycling in the UK is a massive niche. Not like what you would consider just a little small pool of people. I mean, it's fucking tiny. You only have to look at the average age of people that buy bikes in the UK. People of that ilk and age will watch instructional videos. You know, if you're stripping down stuff or building things or whatever, yeah, for sure. You know, my dad certainly looks up YouTube videos. But my dad's a biker, his pals are bikers. I bet you maybe one of them watches my videos regularly. They're just not interested. And that's fine. It's perfectly okay. And I'm perfectly fine with the fact that they're not interested. So what that tells me is that with the glass ceiling, with the content that I am creating, it's not mainstream enough to bring up people into watch what I'm doing. And as a creative, that's actually frustrating. It's frustrating not because I want my videos to be like famous or any of that kind of stuff, but you want interaction, you want growth, you want to see your efforts being rewarded. in some way, shape or form. And I don't think in this marketplace that the humble motovlog, as I'm doing right now, tickles the biscuit. I just don't think it gets the job done. And I think you can snazz it up all you want or whatever, but you know, I'm riding a 35-year-old bike back home from work, and it's just not that entertaining. I'm sure there's people that have skipped all the way through half of this video, and they'll just comment right at the end. Or comment right before you even begin. And because of that, I think the humble motovlog is dead. So, what does that mean for me? Well, I'm still going to go to bike events, I'm still going to record my bike adventures, I'm still going to do reviews of things when they come up, but I don't think I'm going to commit to doing weekly videos anymore. I think the humble motovlog is goosed, and because of that I am actually going to start using my other personal channel. It won't be personal for much longer. I will give you links to that. And I am going to do more stuff towards, I don't want to say life vlogs, but that kind of ilk. The same kind of topic-based shit, but we'll do it a different way. And I'm still working out the ideas around the format and all that kind of stuff, and I'll launch out very shortly. But yeah, certainly life vloggy stuff. Again, I am not one man. I have multiple interests. And because of that, I feel sometimes annoyed that my audience is in a niche that probably wouldn't really be interested in tech or photography or, you know, some of the other things I do actually get up to and enjoy. And because of that, I think another channel might be the way to go to have a broader range of things. I work in IT, I spend stupid amounts of money on gadgets and bits and pieces, but I don't think you guys would be interested in seeing my review of my smartwatch. I just don't think you're interested. By the way, it has a crash feature, very handy to tell your family you've died in a bush, but that aside, you know, so motorbiking is only a part of me. And with that said, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do more on my other channel, and I'll release further information as to that if you're interested in that. If you're not, it's cool. Motor joshing will still create content. I'm still going to do bike, you know, certainly I'm going to a bike show in a week. You know, I've got the other bike show, our show that we're hosting in Cardiff, you know, not too long after that. I'm still going to do things like Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I'm still doing Wild Bad Weekender. So there will still be content. I just don't necessarily think I should restrict myself to the weekly thing. And I know there's going to be some people that go, yeah, you're just going to get bored and not bother doing the videos. And that's not true. I really am going to be going to these events, and I really would feel stupid not still doing things and taking photos and video of classic bike shows, because I don't think those bikes are going to be around forever. So I think having a record of them at these shows is quite important for the, you know, heritage of the vehicle. So I am going to continue making videos on motor joshing. I just don't think the frequency is going to be as much. It's just going to be as and when, and just going to relax a bit while I up the ante on the other channel and just do more around things of my interest. Don't get me wrong, I imagine at some points on there then there will be some biking, but it'll be more to get somewhere in a, you know, as a transitional thing, but there won't be too much bikey stuff. It'll just be that I went there on a bike, so it'll probably be more B-roll than anything else. But I'm going to keep the bikey stuff over here. We're going to probably do more over life vloggy stuff, tech, that kind of thing, photography and things on the other channel, because there's a bigger market and there's a bigger audience for those things, and I would like my videos to be seen. And I just, you know, I don't think motovlogging gets the reception due to the smallness of the audience. And I think I just have to be honest about the facts at the moment, and that's the situation. There is a ceiling. You can only go so far to pull an audience within the UK, even if you've been doing it for years, and that audience isn't the biggest by any stretch. You know, I've done videos before on my personal channel, and one of them was literally just of actually a religious ceremony. After I did a medieval pilgrimage, and there was a religious ceremony, and there was literally this incense thing swinging in a church, okay? And this incense thing swinging in a church, just with the date on it, no tagging, hardly anything, just because of the title of what it is. It's done 100,000 views, and it's weird, but like, there's just a bigger audience for certain things, and motorbiking, as much as I love it, is a niche. So, you know, I think I need to become more generalized as a YouTuber, as a content creator, to bring in more audience, or to, I don't know, see that kind of evolution, I guess. And I'm not trying to be some sort of Jake Paul famous person or whatever. I don't think it really happens that way. But I do really enjoy being creative. I do enjoy making videos. I do enjoy the interaction. I also know that I'm probably heading for way more trolls and people that are quite mean in general world. But at least there's interaction, more than just, you know, I want average Joes. I want random people. You know, I don't just want fellow motovloggers or people that do the same thing I do. And I know part of that will be down to my marketing and strategies and all that kind of stuff, but I just think people find you, and they will, if you're creating content they want to see. And I think the fact of the matter is as much as I'm creating content, the market that wants to see it is minute. And I don't think, I imagine, I genuinely think I could probably expand my other channel a lot faster than what I'm doing now. Anyway, I've probably waffled on enough. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this. Am I mental? Do you think there's merit to my madness? Anyway, I've definitely talked too much in this video already, so I'll love to know those comments, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Whenever that is. Ta-ta, bye-bye.